brilliant victories over the course of the weekend. The same amount as the man on the front row of the grid with him, Maxime Ferron-Castellan, the young man from Luxembourg, who is doing an absolutely terrific job over the course of his second season representing Luxembourg, and he will be there on the outside of the front row. On the second row, two men with an amazing future ahead of them. From Denmark, it is Jonathan Weywadt, who has been one of the stars of the 2020 season in junior category of racing already, and here in the Academy Trophy, it is no different. Beside him, all the way from Kingston in Jamaica, flying the flag not just for his country, but for an entire Caribbean region as well. Alex Powell from the second row of the grid. The 3-minute board goes up in front of the drivers. Maceo Capieto of France on the third row of the starting grid. Alongside him, it is Tom Braken of Belgium. From the United Arab Emirates on the fourth row of the grid, it is Keanu Alajari, the man who was fastest of all in qualifying and has remained in the top end of the field throughout the weekend. On the fourth row of the grid with him, from Japan, it is Shu Dozono, and he is going to be a very strong competitor from the outside of the fourth row. On row 5, in ninth position, it is the Austrian star Oscar Wirtz, and alongside him on the grid, it is Aaron Recepi of Switzerland. On row 6, for Spain, it's Santiago Valve, and for Israel, it is Ariel Elkin. On row 7, for Great Britain on the inside line, Theo Mercouris, and on the outside line, Rafael Modenese of Peru. On the 8th row, it is Albin Sturluson of Sweden, and for Poland, it is Bart Pikatowski. On row 9, it is Jaden Tien for the Netherlands, and for Chile, Christian Pastrian. On the 10th row, for Germany, it is Gianni Andresani, and on the outside, for Italy, on home soil, it is Matteo Da Palo. On the 11th row, for the Czech Republic, it is Adam Kowalski, and for Greece, Georgios Kafantaris. On row 12, for the Philippines, Zachary David, and for Norway, Emil Gjerdrum. On row 13, for Bulgaria, Kalion Vabitsaliev, and Estonia, Jusuf Planken. Row 14, for Slovenia, it is Mai Sadar, and for Romania, it is Darius Babiowana. On row 15, for Finland, it is Alexei Yeleva, and for Slovakia, Matic Koenig. And on row 16, for Denmark, it is Freya Norman, and for Lithuania, it is Tomas Veilentas. So the drivers are in position. The 1-minute board will go up shortly, and then these youngsters are on their own. They will battle away around the circuit for 20 laps of racing around the Adria Karting Raceway. The 1-minute board goes up, and for these young men and women who've been waiting for this moment ever since they got the call back in January and February that they were going to be representing their country. It's been a long 6 months of wait, but now the moment of truth is here. We get the signal for the drivers to head off onto the circuit. The mechanics will push them off. Conor Zelic and Maxime Ferron-Castellan go to battle at Adria. So here's the grid one more time. Conor Zelic and Maxime Ferron-Castellan, Jonathan Weywadt and Alex Powell, Maceo Capieto and Tom Braken, Keanu Alajari and Shu Dozono, Oscar Wirtz and Aaron Recepi, Santiago Valve and Ariel Elkin, Theo Mercouris and Rafael Modenese, Albin Sturluson and Bart Pikatowski, Jaden Tien and Christian Pastrian, Gianni Andresani and Matteo Da Palo, Adam Kowalski and Georgios Kafantaris, Zachary David and Emil Gjerdrum, Kalian Vabitsaliev, Jusuf Planken, Mai Sadar, Darius Babiowana, Alexei Yeleva, Matic Koenig, Freya Norman and Tomas Veilentas. All of them will want to be at the front end of the field. Zilic, Ferron-Castellan, Weywadt, Powell, Capieto, Braken, Alajari, Dozono. Is this going to be a clean start straight away? Yes, it is! We're racing in Adria, straight into the first corner, and it's a cracking start for the inside line from Zilic and Weywadt. They're going to try and come through for the first corner. Weywadt is going to hold into second position as they come through in behind Conor Zilic, and the field is going to be a little bit spat out as they come through, and there's contact up towards the third corner, and several drivers get spat out of the queue. There's about 6 of them involved, I'm afraid. So let's try and count them through. Tom Braken and Keanu Alajari are involved in it. So too is Pastrian, Zachary David and Kalian Vabitsaliev. And there's more drama involved in it as well. There is Vabitsaliev. Oh, the Bulgarian absolutely furious with his lot. So many drivers involved. And I think with so many carts off at the side of the circuit, we may even get, well, we've certainly got yellow flags at that point on the course. But everybody appears to be okay, so they are going to be able to clear the circuit relatively straightforward. The race continues on. It's Conor Zilic who leads. Alex Powell is now in second place as the drivers are removed from the scene. Braken, Alajari, Pastrian, David, Vabitsaliev and Tomas Veilentas all out of the race on the first lap. Big drama. So as the rest of the remaining drivers skate their way through, It's been a very dramatic start to proceedings for the competitors in the mix. I'm not sure. We've got Ariel Elkin still running. Oh, somebody kicking up dust on the final corner. I think Ariel Elkin may have come off up at turn 7. Yes, he's tried to start the kart again, and that's a big mistake there on the exit from Bart Piketowski. He almost loses several places as a result of that one. So that is devastating for him, as up the inside, Jonathan Weywadt gets the move on Santiago Valve for 3rd position. So the Dane has come through, and that's Maxime Castellane managing to defend from Capieto and Modenese. So the field continues to sweep through the hairpin. Some great driving from the competitors in the fray here in the FIA Karting Academy Trophy, but out in front, the top 2 remain unchanged. Conor Zilic and Alex Powell. 1st and 2nd, they were in the first couple of rows, but Conor Zilic remains in charge. There's Maxime Castellane battling away with Capieto. And out of the final turn and onto the main straight come the competitors at the sharp end. Jonathan Weywadt now to 3rd, past Santiago Valve, who is now falling into the clutches of Maxime Castellane. Looks as though Piketowski and Alexei Yeleva have lost some ground on that lap. A few places negated. So now here is the battle further up. This is Alex Powell being caught by Jonathan Weywadt. So Alex Powell, the Jamaican, still running well in 2nd, but Jonathan Weywadt is catching up. If these two can get a podium to start their season, it would certainly be a good rhythm for their particular mode of the season. But Weywadt has a chance to close up on Alex Powell, so he is going to try every trick in the book to make it happen. Maxime Castellane is trying to close up on these two as well. Weywadt has got back on terms with Alex Powell. So Weywadt and Powell, who have raced each other before, as Weywadt makes the lunge on the inside of Powell, and that's the Dane through in a 2nd place. Good bit of driving from both drivers. Powell to relinquish and give enough space to make the challenge, and John Weywadt decisive and clinical to make the overtake. So there is Jonathan Weywadt, the Danish driver, starting to chip away now at Conor Zilic's advantage. This is what I said. Yes, he's got a lead of 3.2 seconds, but Weywadt is actually lapping faster at the moment in the first sector than Conor Zilic. The American can't afford to push too hard too soon. If those tyres start to wear and he reaches the edge of the cliff, as it were, then this is going to be a tough race for the American to win. He leads the way into lap 10 of 20. 3.2 is a big gap, but how long can he keep it that way? So the battle for 2nd place has 3 drivers in it. Weywadt, Powell and Castellane. If they work together, the 3 of them might be able to catch up to Conor Zilic before the end of the race. 3 seconds is a lot to make up, but if they unite, it could work out. Castellane, though, isn't going to wait around. He makes the move on Alex Powell. So he comes through and gets the move, and that is further back. That's a lovely dive on the inside from Shudazono, who gets past Georgios Kavataris. So the Japanese driver gets past the Greek. And there is Conor Zilic, still running a great race, the American out in front, with Jonathan Weywadt in 2nd and Maxime Castellane now 3rd in front of Alex Powell. Rafael Modenese in 5th from Maceo Capieto and Santiago Valve, then Shudazono and Georgios Kavataris. Theo Makuris is up to 10th, so he's making up places now. Bart Piketowski in 11th from Adam Kowalski and Aaron Reshepi. Oscar Wirtz doing a good job in 14th from Jaden Tien and Matteo De Palo. 10 laps done, 10 to go. So Conor Zilic is still leading. This is the battle for 2nd. Jonathan Weywadt, Maxime Castellane and Alex Powell. Then in 5th place is Rafael Modenese of Peru. Modenese is closing up on Alex Powell. So it's going to be an interesting one if Powell can hang on to this from Modenese. Still 2 new drivers at this level, let's not forget that. But out in front, look at the gap that Zilic has over Weywadt and Castellane, with Powell and Modenese getting closer all the time on lap 13. 8 laps to go, including this one. But Castellane really has a chance in 2020, and he can sense it. If he can get past Jonathan Weywadt for 2nd place, he's going to get into 2nd in the point standings, especially considering he started the race from 2nd. So he will only be 6 points behind Conor Zilic if he can get past Jonathan Weywadt. Up the inside comes Modenese. Modenese makes the move on Alex Powell. So that puts him into 4th place. The Peruvian really is having an amazing comeback in this one. Jonathan Weywadt and Maxime Castellane are now questing over 2nd place, with Rafael Modenese in 4th and Alex Powell in 5th from Capieto, Valve, Dozono, Piketowski, Wirtz, Reshepi, De Palo, Kowalski, Andrzani and Yeleva. So the battle continues. For 2nd place, it's Weywadt versus Castellane. For 4th place, it is Modenese versus Powell, with Capieto trying to catch them. And the gap between Conor Zilic and Jonathan Weywadt is 3.8 seconds. That is maximum attack from the American out front. How has he been able to get this far ahead of the rest of the field? It's just astonishing. as John Weywadt holds on in front of Fudon Castellane, and this is the battle further back in the pack. This is Matteo De Palo trying to hang on in front of Aaron Roscepi, who gets on the inside of Kowalski and passing both of them. A cheeky move on the inside line there from Alexei Aleva, from Gianni Andrezzani, the German. So Andrezzani makes a move or two as Fudon Castellane gets past Jonathan Weywadt. That's for second position. And Maxime Fudon Castellane now comes up into P2, but he's not done yet, John Weywadt. He wants to get back into second place, and the Dane is going each way he can to try and make the move stick. Modenese is catching up with them as well. So Modenese, the Peruvian, might get a chance to steal a position or two from them. But Maxime Fudon Castellane is maximum attack at the moment as he tries to get away from John Weywadt. Weywatt struggling now as here comes Modenese for a chance to get into third position. The Peruvian wants a piece of it. And waiting in the wings is Alex Powell of Jamaica, and for France, Maceo Capieto in P6. So across the line again, 4 laps remain. Conor Zilic going well. Looks like a black and white flag is coming out, and that is for the 5.25. So that is unfortunate, but it's going to be Adam Kowalski who receives it. There was also a warning flag earlier in the race I noticed for the 5.42. Now the 5.42 is, let me just try and double check, that's Aaron Roscepi. So it looks as though both Aaron Roscepi and Adam Kowalski have been pushing a little too eagerly for the steward's liking. But Maxime Fudon Castellane is breaking away from the pack in second place now. Can Jonathan Weywadt hold on to third, or are Modenese and Powell going to get a chance at a podium? It's going to be very tight to see who's going to get the opportunity, but Conor Zilic out in front is battling away, and that's the move on the inside from the 5.20 of Jusuf Plankin. He gets past Jaden Tien with Adam Kowalski tight in behind. So Jusuf Plankin, the Estonian, makes a nice move in the pack, and that was a good run on Jaden Tien. But the gap now between Zilic and Fudon Castellane is 4.7 seconds as Conor Zilic sets a new fastest lap, 50.572. Quite extraordinary to open the gap up to 5 seconds. I've seen this before in the FIA Karting Academy Trophy, but not often. Conor Zilic really making a real stink of this race out in front. He's just waltzing away in the lead. Not a single driver can hold a candle to him in this one, and this really does go to show the strength and ability and capability of this young American star. Could he be the next big thing in the world of motorsport? Conor Zilic, remember where you heard the name, because you're going to hear it a lot over 2020. Especially now that he's pulled to over 4.8 seconds on Maxime Fudon Castellane. Now watch this for third. Modenese's got there. Modenese's into third past Weywadt. So the Peruvian is now in third. Weywatt's trying to get it back again. Alex Powell is there in fifth position. Here comes Weywatt up the inside of Modenese. Retakes the place. Modenese's coming back at him. Weywatt nearly goes off the circuit, and Powell's getting some support from Capieto to come through. Powell gets through into P4. And now that's Modenese back on the inside of both Capieto and Powell. Powell gets squeezed out. Capieto comes through past both of them into fourth position. And not a lot then Modenese can do to tuck in there behind Capieto. And that's given a massive advantage to Jonathan Weywatt. He is now solidly in third place as Modenese now has to defend from the Jamaican Alex Powell as they come into the final lap. Conor Zilic is going to dominate out front from the United States, and Maxime Fudon Castellane has pulled away from Luxembourg, but the third place battle could go into the final lap here. Jonathan Weywatt trying to extend his advantage over Capieto, Modenese and Powell. And there is the man in second. What a performance it's been from Maxime Fudon Castellane today to get up the order once more. But there are still some battles to come as Modenese tries his best to close up on Capieto. But what a performance from this man. Conor Zilic has just been extraordinary. An amazing performance all weekend. He really has bit the bullet and gone for it. And he's going to emerge as the first winner in the FIA Karting Academy Trophy 2020. Out of the final turn, Conor Zilic wins an Adria! Superb! Absolutely magnificent from Conor Zilic. Maxime Fudon Castellane is second. From Weywatt, Capieto, Modenese and Powell in the top six. Awesome, awesome from Conor Zilic. Fan Davidosi from the young man from the United States of America. He waves to his supporters on the stands. And I'm sure everybody back home in the USA, all his supporters, will be absolutely ecstatic on his behalf. So Conor Zilic with the perfect score of 35 points today. Maxime Ferdinand-Castellin with his possible best of 29, and they fist bump around the circuit. Brilliant. Conor Zilic wins for Maxime Ferdinand-Castellin, and Jonathan Weywadt on the podium for Denmark. Matteo Capieto is fourth ahead of Rafael Modenese and Alex Powell. Santiago Valves seventh from Shudazono and Bart Piketowski. Oscar Wirtz and Matteo De Palo. And then it's Aaron Reshepi and Gianni Andrizani from Darius Babiowana and Alexei Yaleva. Then it is Josep Planket outside the points from Jaden Tien and Theo Makuris. Matti Koenig and Adam Kowalski. Maisadar and Emil Gjerdrum from Freya Norman in 23rd. The retirements, there were a lot of them. Georgios Kafantaris, Albin Studison and Ariel Elkin. And then on the first lap, we lost Tom Braken, Keanu Alajari, Christian Pastrian, Zachary David, Kalyan Vodsaliev and Thomas Vilentas in a big incident that wiped out 6 drivers from the field. What a race from the drivers in the top 6, though.